Did you know that 95% of seniors over 70 still make everyday mistakes that silently damage their joints? After 70, even small habits can lead to stiffness, pain, and limited mobility. In this video, we'll uncover 7 common mistakes most older adults don't even realize they're making in simple ways to fix them, so your joints stay strong and flexible for years to come. Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Miller. Welcome to Matthew Miller TV, the channel where we explore practical, science-backed ways to live longer, healthier, and happier lives. If you care about your health and well-being, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss valuable insights designed to help you and your loved ones. Alright, let's dive right in with the first common mistake that most seniors make when it comes to joint health. Mistake number 1. Skipping daily movement when people reach their 70s. One of the most damaging mistakes they can make for their joint health is to stop moving regularly. It may sound counterintuitive after all. If your knees or hips hurt, the natural instinct is to rest them. But in reality, avoiding daily movement accelerates joint damage, weakens muscles, and shortens independence. Physiologically, the problem is simple. As we age, our muscles naturally shrink in size and strength in a process called sarcopenia. When those muscles aren't used, the decline is even faster, leaving joints with less support. At the same time, cartilage, the tissue that cushions the joints, does not have its own blood supply. Instead, it relies on the circulation of joint fluid to receive nutrients and remove waste. That circulation only happens when the joint moves, so if you stop moving, your cartilage slowly starves, dries out, and breaks down. That's why stiffness, cracking, and arthritis become so common in older adults who are sedentary. Research in the United States paints a stark picture. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, nearly 28% of Americans over 65 report being physically inactive. And inactivity doesn't just mean sore knees. It leads to faster cartilage loss, worsens arthritis symptoms, and increases the risk of falling. The Arthritis Foundation notes that sedentary older adults have a 40% higher likelihood of morning stiffness, and a 30% greater risk of serious falls compared to their peers who move daily. These falls are not minor. Many result in hip fractures, hospitalizations, and even loss of independence. Why do so many seniors fall into this trap of inactivity? The reasons are very real and understandable. Many already live with joint pain, so every step feels like a burden. Rest seems logical, but unfortunately it creates a vicious cycle. The less you move, the stiffer your joints become, which makes movement even more painful. Fear of falling is another major barrier. Surveys by the National Council on Aging show that almost half of Americans over 70 are afraid of falling during exercise, so they avoid it altogether. Then there's habit. After retirement, it's easy to spend hours on the couch watching television or scrolling on a phone. Comfort slowly replaces activity. Finally, many older adults don't have an encouraging environment, no safe walking paths, no exercise groups, no one to motivate them. Without support, staying active feels like a lonely, uphill battle. Take the story of Helen, a 72-year-old retired librarian from Ohio. In her younger years, she walked to work almost every day and stayed active without even thinking about it. But once she retired, her activity plummeted. Days were spent sitting on the couch watching her favorite shows. At first, she only noticed mild stiffness in the mornings, something she brushed off as just aging. But over time, her knees began to ache constantly, and her back grew weak. She started avoiding errands that required walking. Eventually, Helen became afraid to go outside in icy weather, convinced she would fall. When she finally saw a doctor, she was diagnosed with early-stage osteoarthritis in her knees. The physician explained that years of inactivity had weakened the muscles that protect her joints, causing them to wear down faster. What shocked Helen most was when the doctor told her that something as simple as 30 minutes of light walking per day could have slowed the progression dramatically. The good news is that it's never too late. Even after 70, adding gentle, consistent movement can protect and even restore joint health. Experts recommend starting small. A daily 20-minute walk around the block or even laps through your house can keep joints lubricated and muscles active. For those with painful knees or hips, low-impact activities like swimming, cycling on a stationary bike, or aqua aerobics are excellent choices. They take pressure off the joints while still strengthening the body. Strength training is another powerful tool. Light dumbbells, resistance bands, or even body weight exercises like sit-to stands from a chair build muscle around the joints, reducing the load on cartilage. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that seniors who perform strength exercises just 2 times per week experience improved balance, stronger bones, and significantly less joint pain. Flexibility also matters. Stretching or gentle chair yoga helps keep joints mobile and reduces stiffness. Even 5 minutes of daily stretches can make everyday tasks like bending, climbing stairs, or tying shoes much easier. Nutrition can play a supportive role as well. A diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids from fish like salmon and sardines helps reduce inflammation in the joints. Leafy greens, olive oil, nuts, and berries provide antioxidants that protect joint tissues. Mistake number 2. Overusing painkillers instead of addressing the root cause for many seniors. Pain is an unwelcome companion. Aching knees, stiff hips, sore backs. These discomforts often become part of daily life after 70, and when pain sets in, the most common response is to reach for medication. Over-the-counter drugs like ibuprofen, acetaminophen, or prescription opioids are used to mask the symptoms. But here lies a serious mistake. Relying too heavily on painkillers without addressing the underlying cause of joint pain. The science is clear. Pain medications may bring temporary relief, but they do not solve the problem. In fact, long-term reliance can create new health risks. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, nearly 1 in 3 adults over age 65 in the U.S. use over-the-counter painkillers daily. While occasional use can be safe, excessive use carries consequences. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs such as ibuprofen or naproxen, can irritate the stomach lining, cause gastrointestinal bleeding, and increase the risk of kidney damage. Acetaminophen, if taken in high doses, can harm the liver. Prescription opioids, meanwhile, can lead to dependence, drowsiness, and dangerous falls. Research published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors who used NSAIDs regularly had a 40% higher risk of cardiovascular complications, while chronic opioid users faced significantly increased risks of fractures due to impaired balance. This means that what starts as a solution for joint pain often evolves into a bigger health issue. But why do older adults turn so quickly to painkillers? The reasons are deeply practical and psychological. First, pain is disruptive. It makes even the simplest tasks, like climbing stairs or cooking dinner, feel impossible. Medications promise fast relief, so it's natural to reach for them. Second, many seniors grew up in an era where pushing through pain was encouraged. Seeking physical therapy or exercise was less common, while pills were seen as modern medicine's gift. Third, there's fear that pain is permanent, that activity will make it worse, or that they'll lose independence if they don't suppress it immediately. Finally, convenience plays a role. Swallowing a pill is quicker than attending a physical therapy session, preparing healthy meals, or starting an exercise routine. Let's look at a real example. James, a 74-year-old retired truck driver from Missouri, spent decades sitting long hours behind the wheel. After retirement, his knees began to ache constantly. To cope, he started taking over-the-counter ibuprofen every morning and evening. At first, it seemed like the perfect solution. The pain dulled, and he could still mow his lawn and visit his grandchildren. But after several months, James developed stomach issues. One day he ended up in the emergency room with severe abdominal pain, only to learn he had a bleeding ulcer caused by prolonged NSAID use. His doctor explained that while the pills helped his pain, they were damaging his body from the inside. What James needed wasn't more medication, it was a comprehensive approach to managing the root cause of his joint pain. So what's the better path forward? Experts emphasize a holistic strategy. Painkillers can be part of the toolbox, but they should never be the only tool. The first step is movement-based therapy. Physical therapy, for example, teaches exercises that strengthen the muscles around joints, improving stability and reducing pain naturally. Even light resistance training or water aerobics can dramatically ease joint pressure without medication. Second, weight management plays a critical role. Studies from the Arthritis Foundation show that losing just 10 pounds can take up to 40 pounds of pressure off the knees. For many older adults, that small change means less pain and less reliance on drugs. Third, anti-inflammatory nutrition makes a difference. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fish like salmon, anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric and ginger, and antioxidant-rich foods such as berries and leafy greens can help reduce joint inflammation. Supplements like glucosamine and chondroitin, when recommended by a physician, may also support cartilage health. Fourth, consider alternative therapies. Gentle practices like yoga, tai chi, and meditation don't just reduce stress. They also improve flexibility and reduce pain perception. Some seniors even find relief through acupuncture or massage therapy. These approaches target the body and mind rather than just masking symptoms. Finally, it's critical to have open conversations with healthcare providers. Many older adults hesitate to ask about alternatives, assuming medication is the only option. But doctors, especially geriatric specialists, can create tailored plans that reduce reliance on painkillers while improving overall quality of life. James, our truck driver, eventually followed this path. With his doctor's guidance, he cut back on daily ibuprofen, began physical therapy, and switched to a diet rich in anti-inflammatory foods. Within months, he noticed he was using far fewer pills and still enjoying activities he loved. Most importantly, he no longer lived in fear of hidden side effects. The takeaway is powerful. Painkiller. Mistake number 3. Neglecting strength and flexibility exercises. When most people think about protecting their joints, the first instinct is to avoid heavy lifting, strenuous movement, or anything that might cause pain. But here's the truth. The real danger often comes from neglecting strength and flexibility exercises. Without strong muscles and supple joints, even basic daily activities, standing up, climbing stairs, or bending to pick something off the floor, can become painful and risky after setback. From a biological perspective, muscles act as the body's shock absorbers. They cushion the joints, reducing the pressure placed on knees, hips, shoulders, and the spine. Flexibility complements this by keeping the joints moving smoothly within their natural range. Without strength and mobility, every step, twist, or bend puts unnecessary strain on cartilage, tendons, and ligaments. Over time, this accelerates wear and tear. The statistics make this clear. According to the National Institute on Aging, adults over 70 can lose up to 3 to 5% of muscle mass per decade if they don't actively maintain it. This condition, called sarcopenia, leaves joints unprotected and fragile. Meanwhile, studies from Harvard Medical School revealed that seniors who neglect flexibility work are far more likely to experience falls, stiffness, and limited mobility. In fact, almost 50% of Americans over 65 report mobility limitations, much of it connected to weak muscles and stiff joints. So why do so many seniors skip these exercises? There are several reasons. Many assume strength training is just for athletes or younger adults. Others fear that lifting even light weights might cause injury. Stretching is often dismissed as optional or unnecessary, associated with yoga enthusiasts rather than everyday people. On a deeper level, decades of sedentary habits make starting any new routine feel intimidating. And let us not forget the psychological barrier. Many older adults worry they'll look silly at the gym or believe it's simply too late to make a difference. Take the story of Eleanor, a 76-year-old grandmother from Florida. She stayed somewhat active walking in her neighborhood, gardening, but she never focused on building strength or stretching. Over time, her knees began aching whenever she bent down, and climbing stairs left her struggling for breath. One day, while stepping onto a curb, she stumbled and fell. Thankfully, she wasn't seriously injured, but the fall shook her confidence. At her doctor's visit, she was told her leg muscles were too weak and her joints were too stiff, both from years of ignoring strength and flexibility. Eleanor realized her little aches weren't just part of aging, they were warning signs. Neglecting these exercises carries real consequences. Weak quadriceps and hamstrings place extra stress on the knees, accelerating arthritis. A stiff lower back increases strain on the hips and spine. Limited shoulder mobility makes lifting groceries or reaching overhead both painful and dangerous. And when flexibility and strength decline together, the result is often falls, fractures, and a gradual loss of independence. The good news is that the body remains responsive even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Research from the American College of Sports Medicine shows that seniors who performed resistance training just 2 to 3 times per week improved muscle mass, reduced joint pain, and regained mobility. Similarly, older adults who included stretching or gentle yoga in their routine reported less stiffness and fewer balance problems. So what can you do in practice? Start small and simple. Strength training, bodyweight movements like chair squats, wall push-ups, or step-ups are safe and effective. Light dumbbells or resistance bands add variety. Just 2 short sessions per week can build protective muscle around major joints. Flexibility work, gentle stretching, chair yoga, or Tai Chi can help keep joints mobile. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day ankle circles, shoulder rolls, hamstring stretches makes a difference. Balance training. Try standing on one leg near a wall or countertop for support. Activities like Tai Chi not only improve balance but, according to the National Council on Aging, can cut fall risk by nearly 50%. Nutrition support. Adequate protein supports muscle repair, while vitamin D and calcium keep bones strong. Pairing exercise with the right nutrition gives your joints the best protection possible. Eleanor eventually joined a senior fitness class at her local community center. At first, she was nervous, worried she wouldn't keep up, but within weeks of using resistance bands and practicing simple stretches, she noticed her knees hurt less. Her balance improved, and her confidence returned. Months later, she could climb stairs without hesitation and move more freely in her garden. Her fall had marked the end of her independence. It became the turning point that reminded her of the power of strength and flexibility. The key message here is simple: ignoring strength and flexibility is like allowing the foundation of your home to crumble. The walls may look fine for a while, but eventually, everything becomes unstable. On the other hand, investing just a little time each week in strengthening and stretching pays enormously. Mistake number 4. Ignoring rest and recovery for joint health. When people think about keeping their joints healthy, the focus is usually on movement, exercise, stretching, staying active, and that's essential. But here's the part many seniors overlook. Your joints also need rest and recovery. Just like muscles, bones, and the heart, joints require downtime to repair, rehydrate, and rebuild. Without proper rest, even healthy activity can become destructive. From a biological standpoint, cartilage, the cushion that protects your joints, has no direct blood supply. Instead, it gets its nutrients and lubrication through movement and rest cycles. When you move, the cartilage compresses and releases, pulling in fluid that carries oxygen and nutrients. But when joints are overused without adequate recovery, or when sleep is poor, this natural repair process is disrupted. Over time, the cartilage thins, the ligaments stiffen, and inflammation builds up. The science is clear. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC), nearly 1 in 4 U.S. adults over 65 has arthritis, and chronic overuse without rest is a major contributor. Research published in the journal Arthritis Care and Research shows that older adults who don't allow adequate recovery between physical activities report significantly higher rates of joint pain and stiffness, and studies from the National Sleep Foundation highlight another critical piece. Seniors who sleep fewer than 6 hours per night are nearly 30% more likely to experience chronic joint discomfort compared to those who sleep 7 to 8 hours. So why do so many older adults push through without proper rest? Part of it is cultural. In America, we're taught to keep going, to stay productive, to tough it out. Many seniors also fear that slowing down or taking rest days will make them weaker. And ironically, some who rediscover exercise in their 70s overdo it, walking for hours daily or hitting the gym hard, without understanding that the body needs time to adapt. On the other end, poor sleep routines, fueled by late-night TV, caffeine, or stress, rob joints of the recovery they desperately need. Consider Frank, a 72-year-old retiree from Ohio. After his doctor told him to stay active to protect his joints, Frank took the advice seriously, maybe too seriously. He began walking 3 to 4 miles every day, proud of his discipline. At first it felt good, but within months, his knees began aching, and his hips stiffened. Instead of adjusting, Frank pushed harder, believing more exercise would strengthen his joints. Eventually, the pain forced him to stop entirely. His doctor explained that the issue wasn't the walking, it was the lack of balance. Frank's joints weren't getting enough recovery time, and his poor sleep habits, staying up until midnight watching sports, made matters worse. The consequences of ignoring rest and recovery go beyond pain. Without proper downtime, inflammation levels remain elevated, damaging cartilage. Muscles don't have time to repair, leaving joints less supported. Chronic sleep deprivation also raises cortisol, the stress hormone which accelerates joint breakdown. And perhaps most importantly, when pain builds up from overuse, seniors often quit exercise altogether, leading to a vicious cycle of stiffness, weakness, and loss of independence. The solution isn't complicated, but it does require intention. First, build recovery days into your routine. If you walk 5 days a week, make 2 of those days lighter, gentle stretching, tai chi, or swimming. Alternate high-impact activities with low-impact ones. Listen to your body. If your knees or hips are sore, give them a break instead of pushing through. Second, prioritize sleep as medicine. Aim for 7 to 8 hours nightly. Create a calming bedtime routine. Dim lights, turn off electronics an hour before bed, and keep your bedroom cool and dark. Avoid caffeine in the afternoon and alcohol close to bedtime, as both disrupt deep sleep. Snoring or frequent awakenings are an issue. Talk to your doctor. Conditions like sleep apnea are common in seniors and can devastate both sleep quality and joint health. Third, practice active recovery. On rest days, don't just sit still. Gentle movement like yoga, Stretching or light housework keeps blood flowing without straining joints. Warm baths, massage, or using a heating pad can also ease stiffness and promote healing. Nutrition plays a role too. Anti-inflammatory foods like salmon, walnuts, olive oil, and leafy greens support joint recovery. Staying hydrated helps cartilage remain cushioned and pliable. Think of it this way: every night of good sleep, every glass of water, and every recovery day is as valuable to your joints as every workout. Frank eventually adjusted his routine. Instead of daily long walks, he altered. Mistake number 5. Overlooking weight management and its impact on joints after surgery. Maintaining joint health isn't just about exercise, flexibility, or rest, it's also about weight management. Carrying excess body weight puts tremendous strain on your joints, particularly the knees, hips, and lower back. Even a few extra pounds can make every step more painful, accelerate cartilage breakdown, and increase the risk of arthritis. Yet, this is one of the most overlooked mistakes among seniors. Physiologically, the effect is clear. For every pound of body weight, your knees absorb roughly 3 to 4 pounds of pressure with each step. A senior carrying an extra 20 pounds is effectively adding 60 to 80 pounds of stress on their knees every time they walk. Over weeks, months, and years, that cumulative pressure contributes to inflammation, joint deterioration, and chronic pain. Research from the Arthritis Foundation confirms that seniors who are overweight are 4 times more likely to develop knee osteoarthritis than those at a healthy weight. Weight management also impacts the body in less obvious ways. Fat tissue produces pro-inflammatory chemicals called cytokines, which can worsen joint inflammation and pain. This means that even if you exercise regularly, excess body fat can counteract some of the protective effects of movement and stretching. And when pain becomes chronic, seniors often reduce activity, creating a vicious cycle of weight gain and further joint stress. So why do so many older adults overlook weight management? Partly, it's lifelong habits. Seniors may continue eating patterns developed over decades, favoring processed foods, sugary snacks, or oversized portions. Convenience plays a role too. Fast, easy meals often replace balanced nutrition. Social and emotional factors are also important. Food can be comfort, a reward, or a way to cope with loneliness. Finally, metabolism naturally slows with age, meaning that calories consumed are more likely to be stored as fat unless activity levels are adjusted. Let's consider the story of Marvin, a 73-year-old retired engineer from Michigan. Marvin had always enjoyed hearty meals and rarely worried about weight. After retirement, he found himself eating out frequently and snacking more than usual while watching television. Within a few years, he gained 25 pounds. His knees started hurting. Stairs became a challenge, and he avoided long walks he once enjoyed. Marvin relied on over-the-counter pain medications, but the discomfort persisted. When he visited his doctor, he learned that much of his knee pain was directly related to his extra weight, and that losing even 10 pounds could significantly reduce stress on his joints. The consequences of ignoring weight management are more than just pain. Overweight seniors are at higher risk of joint replacement surgery, reduced mobility, and even falls. The CDC reports that obesity in adults over 65 increases the likelihood of functional limitations by nearly 50%, impacting independence and quality of life. Beyond joints, carrying extra weight contributes to other health issues like diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure, compounding risks as you age. Fortunately, even in your 70s and beyond, weight loss and management are achievable and dramatically improve joint health. The first step is a balanced, nutrient-rich diet. Focus on lean protein sources like fish, chicken, and legumes to maintain muscle while reducing fat. Incorporate plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats, which help control inflammation and support cartilage. Limit processed foods, sugary drinks, and refined carbs, which add calories without benefiting joint health. Studies show that seniors who adopt an anti-inflammatory diet not only lose weight but also experience less joint pain and improved mobility. Exercise remains a critical tool. Limb-packed activities like swimming, cycling, walking, and chair aerobics help burn calories while minimizing stress on joints. Strength training should also be included, as building muscle increases metabolism and further protects joints. According to the American College of Sports Medicine, seniors combining moderate activity with dietary changes can achieve sustainable weight loss and see measurable improvements in joint comfort within months. Behavioral strategies matter too. Track meals and activity, set realistic goals, and consider working with a nutritionist or fitness professional familiar with senior health. Small, consistent changes often lead to more success than drastic diets or extreme exercise. Additionally, social support is crucial. Joining a walking group, attending a community fitness class, or sharing goals with friends or family increases accountability and motivation. Marvin eventually embraced this approach. He began walking 20 to 30 minutes daily, swapped sugary drinks. Mistake number 6. Ignoring professional guidance and joint assessments. Many seniors assume that joint pain is simply part of aging. They shrug off discomfort, hoping it will improve on its own, or rely solely on advice from friends, family, or the internet. While self-care is important, ignoring professional guidance and skipping routine joint assessments is a critical mistake, one that can lead to unnecessary pain, accelerated degeneration, and even loss of independence. From a medical perspective, joints are complex systems of bones, cartilage, ligaments, and muscles. Problems such as osteoarthritis, tendinitis, bursitis, and even early-stage joint deterioration often progress silently before symptoms become severe. Early intervention can slow or even prevent damage. Yet many seniors don't seek professional evaluation until pain severely limits mobility. The statistics underscore the issue. According to the Arthritis Foundation, nearly 95% of seniors over 70 report some form of joint discomfort, but fewer than half consult a healthcare professional. This means a large majority are managing symptoms without understanding the root cause. Left unchecked, joint degeneration can lead to decreased mobility, falls, and the need for invasive procedures like joint replacement surgery. Research in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy shows that seniors who participate in regular professional assessments, whether through a physician, physical therapist, or orthopedic specialist, experience up to 40% slower progression of joint deterioration compared to those who self-manage pain alone. Why do seniors avoid professional guidance? Several factors contribute. Many fear being told that surgery or injections are inevitable. Others may worry about medical costs or insurance coverage. Some simply believe that pain is normal at my age, and that seeking help is unnecessary. Psychological barriers, such as pride or a desire to maintain independence, also play a role. Seniors may feel they should manage on their own rather than burdening family members or healthcare providers. Consider Dorothy, a 75-year-old retired schoolteacher from New York. She had experienced mild hip and knee pain for years, managing it with over-the-counter painkillers and avoiding strenuous activity. Dorothy assumed that joint stiffness was just part of getting older and didn't need further evaluation. One winter, she tripped on an icy sidewalk and suffered a small fracture at the hospital. Her orthopedic doctor reviewed her history and explained that earlier professional assessment could have identified early osteoarthritis, allowed targeted exercises, and reduced her risk of injury. Dorothy realized that by ignoring professional guidance, she had unknowingly allowed a manageable condition to escalate into a significant health risk. The consequences of ignoring professional assessments extend beyond immediate injuries. Without guidance, seniors may adopt incorrect exercise routines that place further stress on joints, or they may over-rely on pain medications, leading to gastrointestinal or cardiovascular complications. Additionally, joint deterioration often affects posture and balance, increasing the likelihood of falls, a leading cause of injury and hospitalization in older adults. According to the CDC, falls are responsible for over 3 million emergency department visits annually among adults 65 and older, and undiagnosed or poorly managed joint issues are a contributing factor. The solution is straightforward. Prioritize regular check-ins with healthcare professionals who understand joint health in older adults. Here's a practical approach. Schedule routine assessments. Annual physicals, orthopedic checkups, or physical therapy evaluations can identify joint problems early. Early detection allows targeted interventions like strengthening exercises, lifestyle modifications, or anti-inflammatory strategies. Follow professional exercise recommendations. Physical therapists can design individualized programs to strengthen muscles around joints, improve balance, and increase flexibility without causing harm. Discuss pain management options. Doctors can advise on safer pain relief strategies, including topical medications, guided injections, or non-pharmacological approaches such as cold, heat therapy, and aquatic therapy. Utilize imaging when necessary. X-rays, MRIs, or ultrasounds can reveal joint damage not visible through symptoms alone. Knowing the exact condition allows for precise treatment and prevention strategies. Consider preventative programs. Many communities and senior centers offer joint health workshops, educational classes, or low-impact exercise programs supervised by professionals. Engaging in these programs can prevent joint issues from escalating. Dorothy eventually began attending a local physical therapy program and met with her physician to assess her joints. With expert guidance, she learned exercises to strengthen her. Mistake number 7. Ignoring posture and daily movement habits. By the time people reach their 70s, posture and everyday movement patterns play a crucial role in joint health. Many seniors focus on exercise, diet, or rest, but overlook the way they sit, stand, or carry out daily activities. Ignoring posture and habitual movement is a silent culprit that damages joints over time, contributing to stiffness, pain, and decreased mobility. From a physiological perspective, poor posture changes the alignment of bones and joints, forcing muscles, ligaments, and tendons to compensate. For example, slouching while sitting shifts the weight forward, increasing stress on the spine and hips. Leaning on one leg while standing or favoring one side while walking can strain knees and ankles. Over years, these subtle imbalances accumulate, leading to joint degeneration, muscle imbalances, and chronic pain. The statistics highlight the scope of the problem. The American Physical Therapy Association, APTA, reports that more than 60% of seniors over 70 exhibit postural abnormalities, such as forward head posture, rounded shoulders, or spinal curvature. These postural issues correlate strongly with joint pain, limited range of motion, and reduced balance. Furthermore, the CDC notes that poor movement habits and postural strain increase the risk of falls, which are the leading cause of injury among older adults in the US. Why do so many seniors ignore posture and movement habits? One reason is habit. Decades of sitting at desks, leaning over kitchen counters, or carrying bags improperly ingrains poor posture. Many also assume that slouching or moving slowly is normal aging and not something that can be corrected. Additionally, discomfort or stiffness may cause older adults to favor one side of the body, creating further imbalance. Psychological factors like reduced confidence, fatigue, or lack of awareness also contribute. Let's consider the story of Betty, a 74-year-old retired librarian from California. She had spent most of her career hunched over books and computer screens. After retirement, she continued reading and using a tablet in bed, often with her neck and shoulders slouched. Over time, she developed persistent shoulder and lower back pain. Her knees also began hurting, particularly when she walked or climbed stairs. Betty assumed it was just part of getting older. It wasn't until she attended a senior fitness workshop that she learned her posture and daily movement habits were accelerating joint stress and contributing to her discomfort. The consequences of ignoring posture and movement habits are significant. Misaligned joints increase wear on cartilage, ligaments, and tendons, accelerating osteoarthritis. Poor posture affects balance, making seniors more prone to falls and injuries. Even simple tasks, reaching for cabinets, bending to tie shoes, or lifting groceries, become painful or risky. Chronic pain can lead to decreased activity, further weakening muscles that support the joints and creating a cycle of degeneration and loss of independence. The solution is both practical and achievable. Start with posture awareness. Check alignment while sitting, standing, and walking. When sitting, keep feet flat on the floor, shoulders back, and spine straight. Avoid crossing legs for extended periods, which can strain hips and lower back. When standing, distribute weight evenly between both feet and engage core muscles to support the spine. Daily movement habits matter just as much. Simple adjustments, like bending at the knees rather than the waist when picking up objects. Avoiding twisting motions and taking breaks to stretch during long periods of sitting reduce joint stress. Using supportive chairs, ergonomic tools, and proper footwear also protects joints from unnecessary strain. Exercise programs designed for seniors are particularly effective in addressing posture and movement habits. Activities like Pilates, yoga, Tai Chi, and balance exercises strengthen core muscles, improve spinal alignment, and enhance overall body awareness. Physical therapists can provide personalized guidance, teaching seniors how to move safely while minimizing joint stress. Nutrition also supports posture and joint health indirectly. Adequate protein, calcium, and vitamin D strengthen bones and muscles, allowing the body to maintain proper alignment. Hydration keeps connective tissues flexible, supporting smoother movement. Betty embraced these changes gradually. She practiced daily posture exercises, engaged in chair yoga 3 times a week, and consciously adjusted her movement habits at home. Within months, her shoulder and knee pain decreased. She walked with more confidence, and everyday activities became easier. What once seemed like inevitable age-related decline turned into renewed mobility and freedom. The message is clear. Your daily habits shape your joints' future. Every step, every stretch, every adjustment in posture contributes to either deterioration or protection. Ignoring posture and movement may seem harmless, but over years, it silently damages your joints, limits mobility, and threatens independence. Conversely, mindful habits strengthen your body, reduce pain, and enhance your quality of life. So if you've been thinking, "I'm too old to change my posture," remember Betty's story. It's never too late to retrain your body, improve alignment, and protect your joints. Small, consistent adjustments every day lead to lasting improvements, keeping your joints strong, flexible, and pain-free well into your 70s and beyond. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to review the key lessons from today's video. Over the past chapters, we've explored 7 common mistakes that 95% of seniors over 70 make, unknowingly damaging their joints. First, neglecting a balanced, joint-friendly diet can deprive your body of the nutrients it needs to maintain cartilage, tendons, and ligaments. Foods rich in antioxidants, omega-3s, and protein are not just healthy, they're protective for your joints. Second, physical inactivity slowly erodes the strength and mobility that support joint health. Sitting for hours or avoiding movement due to fear of pain only accelerates stiffness, increases inflammation, and reduces overall stability. Third, ignoring strength and flexibility exercises leaves muscles weak and joints unprotected. Even light resistance training and gentle stretching, done consistently, can dramatically reduce joint stress and improve your daily comfort. Fourth, skipping rest and recovery can be just as harmful as overexertion. Joints need downtime to repair and rehydrate, and sleep plays a crucial role in controlling inflammation and maintaining mobility. Fifth, overlooking weight management adds unnecessary pressure to every joint. Excess body weight multiplies stress on knees, hips, and the lower back, contributing to pain and faster cartilage breakdown. Sixth, ignoring professional guidance and joint assessments prevents early detection of treatable issues. Consulting a physician, physical therapist, or orthopedic specialist helps you identify problems early, get targeted advice, and prevent long-term complications. And finally, poor posture and everyday movement habits silently damage your joints. Slouching, improper lifting, or favoring one side of the body may seem minor, but over months and years, these habits can accelerate wear and tear, reduce balance, and increase the risk of falls. The good news is, it's never too late to make a change. Even small, consistent steps can dramatically improve joint health. Adjusting your posture, incorporating low-impact exercises, eating nutrient-rich foods, managing your weight, and prioritizing rest all work together to protect your joints, enhance mobility, and maintain independence. Remember the stories we shared: Eleanor, Frank, Marvin, Dorothy, and Betty. Each of them faced challenges with joint pain, stiffness, or mobility limitations. But with awareness, small lifestyle changes, and the right guidance, they regained comfort, strength, and confidence. Your journey can look the same. It starts with recognizing the habits that harm your joints and committing to replace them with healthier protective practices. So here's your action plan today. Identify which of these 7 mistakes you might be making. Choose 1 or 2 small, realistic changes you can implement this week. Commit to consistent action strength training, stretching, sleep, posture, diet, weight management, and professional check-ins. Your joints are the foundation of your mobility and independence. Protecting them isn't just about avoiding pain, it's about maintaining the freedom to move, play, and enjoy life well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. If you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe button so you won't miss more practical tips for joint health and overall wellness. Share this video with friends or family who could benefit together. We can help more seniors stay strong, flexible, and active. Thank you for watching. Remember, healthy joints lead to a healthy, independent life. Stay proactive, stay consistent, and most importantly, keep moving. See you in the next video.